dominated by the Russian athletes to another, gymnastics. It's the inaugural mixed team competition, and the favorites are the Russians, who won the men's and women's team titles. Here are Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson for the debut of this event at the Goodwill Games.
Select your sport. Your choices are football, basketball, hockey, lacrosse, gymnastics, skiing, diving. You have selected gymnastics. Proceed.
Welcome to the site of gymnastics here in St. Petersburg, the Lenin Sport and Concert Complex. Hi everyone, I'm Bart Connor. Today we're in for a treat with the sport of gymnastics because it's a totally new format for competition. It's called mixed team gymnastics. Now the way this works, each team is comprised of 4 athletes, 2 men and 2 women. Both of the women will perform on 2 events each. Both of the men will perform on 3 events each. The combined 10 scores will be their team result. Now, joining me is Kathy Johnson. And Kathy, it sounds a little complicated, but either way, it's going to work out to a great day of gymnastics.
We've seen mixed pairs competition, which combines a man and a woman competing in a single elimination type tournament. But this is entirely different with 2 men and 2 women. The key will definitely be consistency because they're going to drop no scores. That's going to put a lot of pressure on each of the gymnasts. It'll be a great show. A little hard to follow since all the gymnasts on each team are competing throughout the whole competition. We won't know who wins till the very end.
Now, half of the competition occurred yesterday. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. First of all, on the vault, Yelena Piskun from Belarus was terrific.
She scored the highest mark of the night with a 9-9 on a very difficult double twist and a phenomenal landing.
Now, she's teamed up with Grigory Misyutin. They're in first place. He was great on the floor.
He performed better than he had all week long. Certainly helped his team out here.
The team in second place is Russia #1. Now that team includes Svetlana Horkina. She was on the uneven bars.
She showed a great variety of difficult skills done with ease considering her 5 feet 4 inch frame.
From the tallest young lady in the competition to the tallest man, Alexei Nemov did a beautiful pommel horse routine with plenty of difficulty and excellent form and execution. Now the U.S. had 2 teams entered. Team 1 had Shannon Miller. She was great on the vault.
She performed an excellent vault, scored a 9.775, but because of a couple low scores from her teammates, they're only in 5th place.
So let's take a look at the results at the halfway point in this competition. As you see, the team from Belarus and Ukraine 1 is in first place. Just 2 tenths behind them, Russia #1, and the United States currently in 4th and 5th. Today, we're going to be seeing competition for the women in the balance beam and the floor exercise, and for the men on the vault, the parallel bars, and the horizontal bar. Now for Russia 2 on the high bar, Alexei Voropayev. 5 gold medals at these Goodwill Games. And as you see, he won the gold on this event.
And he is so incredibly aggressive on this event. Watch how he swings. For every skill, very strong.
Critical move coming up right here. The double over. Nice.
And he performs another one. Right here. Well done. He had trouble with that a couple times here at the Goodwill Games.
Just a terrific exercise. He's known for sticking his landings. Let's see if he can do it here.
The best routine on high bar he's done all week.
He knows it.
He does this so well. Notice how he keeps his legs together till the very end. They slightly come apart. This is just way up there in the perfect distance from the bar so he can swing right up through the handstand.
Great high bar for Alexei Voropayev. Now from Romania, Anna Maria Bican on balance beam. Oh, what happened there?
I was just about to say this is going to be a great routine. The Romanians are typically so incredibly strong on this event and solid.
Remember, this is the mixed team competition. No scores will be dropped.
This is her best pass. 4 elements down the length of the balance beam. She left out the final one. She's just completely off at this point. I think she was rattled by the fall at the beginning of the exercise.
As you said at the top of the show, the critical thing in this format is that normal team competitions, you can drop a bad exercise and a low score. In this format, consistency is a key.
It's the most important thing. Oh, bless her heart. This is really too bad. She's performed so well throughout the whole Goodwill games. And it's something we should mention. This competition is usually not added at the end of a major competition after they've gone through team, all-around, and event finals. It's a long week to stay psychologically strong, which is what you need on this event. Here's her dismount pass. It's 2 back handsprings. Right into the dismount, double tuck. Oh, that's your worst nightmare.
Disappointment for the Romanian team.
This is what got the whole thing off on the wrong foot. I'm sure she was rattled, and it was very difficult to get back on track. And it's the same skill on the balance beam. That's exactly what she did on her mount.
On the floor now, Oksana Chusovitina from Uzbekistan. She's competing on a mixed team, combining her with 3 Russian athletes. So within the mixed team format, there are some truly mixed teams. Regardless of how complicated that sounds, she's great on the floor.
Former world champion back in 1991 when she was supposed to be the alternate and was a last-minute replacement on the team and came through with a gold here with skills like that.
Quick update on scores for Voropayev from Russia, team number 2, a 9-8 on the high bar routine, and a disaster for Romania on the beam. Anna Maria Bican had an 8.325.
Placed 4th on this event in the event finals, and in a very close all-around competition, she was 5th here.
She owns a world gold and an Olympic gold with the former Soviet team.
Great height on that last tumbling run. That ending is my favorite part of the routine. It goes so well with the music.
We will come back with her score and a look at world champion from the United States, Shannon Miller, on the beam. Competition continues. This is world champion on the balance beam, Shannon Miller from the United States. The score for Chusovitina on her floor was a 9.85, the high score so far.
And she is so tough on this event. I have seldom seen a gymnast in the past 15 to 20 years be as consistent as Shannon Miller has on this event.
You know, she began gymnastics when she was 5 years old, and she was asked if she was afraid, and she said, I think I was too young to be afraid. Typical story for most gymnasts who are competing here.
Here's a pass she's had a little bit of trouble with. Just slight little balance breaks here at the Goodwill Games. It's perfect here. And that's the Miller. And that is the best she has done that in competition ever. Right to the handstand.
The entire team competing here for the United States trains with Steve Nuno and Peggy Liddick in Oklahoma City.
Full twisting double back. This is tough. Excellent. That's the best routine I think I've ever seen her do.
What a finish.
This was beautiful. Sometimes she's a little short of handstand, but look at this. Right to it.
Shannon Miller has to be proud of that performance. Her team coming into this session was in 5th place in this mixed team competition. Now we have Alexander Shostak. He's 20 years old from Minsk.
This is a great combination. Double front in pike position. And just a little check on that handstand. And another double front, this time in tuck.
He's competing today for the mixed team from Belarus and Ukraine.
In the first half of the competition, the best result was shown by Russia.
Beautiful routine, and the pressure is on. No gymnast can miss because they don't stop this. They don't drop any of the low scores here, as we usually see in team competition. That is a gorgeous double front because it's in the pike position. It really makes it extraordinary.
Alexander Shostak plans on being married next week. So congratulations to him. Now to the floor, Irina Bulakova. She's from Ukraine.
Excellent pass. Combination whip back through to a full end.
The mixed team from Belarus and Ukraine, they actually have 2 teams competing here, as do the Russians and the Americans. She's on their number 2 team. The score on the balance beam for Shannon Miller from the United States at 9.875. High score of the day.
A nice variety of tumbling skills in this routine. Seen plenty of difficulty so far. Nice performance.
From the United States now, Drew Durbin, competing for USA team number 2. He's on the high bar. This is a great event for Drew.
He has excellent form, good technique, and he's got the difficulty too. Oh no. Hopefully he's just knocked the wind out of him. This is a difficult release move. It's the Gaylord 2. Notice the half twist, the front over the bar. Oh.
Man.
And when you're that close to making it, it makes the fall worse because he got his hands on the bar long enough that it swung him down into the ground. Right here, you can see he grabs the bar, but he's just not in position. Fortunately, he landed flat on his back.
He's going to continue the exercise. Of course, it's a major deduction. We're just lucky he's okay. He's had some trouble here this week. He's had numbness in his right leg because of a sciatic nerve problem.
He came right back up with a beautiful release move combination. Good dismount. Oh, he got a little over-rotated on that.
Looks like he's okay. Gymnastics competition continues here in St. Petersburg. Quick update on scores. Alexander Shostak had a 9.4 on the parallel bars. Irina Bulakova on the floor had a 9.7. Now from USA team number 1, this is Scott Keswick. He'll be on the vault.
What's fortunate here, the vault that Scott's performing is worth a 9.8. He's got a high difficulty. No, he did the full. He changed. Normally he does a 1.5 twist, which is worth more. This vault will only be worth a 9.5. He has nice height, shows nice flare in the air. But it won't be a huge score.
As you can see, this competition moves along quickly. This is Lilia Podkopaeva now on the beam.
She is quite lovely on this event. Notice her toe point, her form, and how crisp and clear every movement is. This is a great pass. Watch this. Pike open, swing down. Whoa. And that's considered a near fall when you have to grab the balance beam as much as 0.4 of a point off. Another balance break. But what is exceptional about this routine, it's as if you could get a photographer in here to take pictures non-stop, every movement of hers could be a beautiful picture.
It appears back over at the high bar that Drew Durbin is okay. His score, a low 8.55.
It's unfortunate she has a major break in this routine. That's going to cost her, because this is a great routine in terms of its difficulty and presentation.
As we look at this, Kathy, the score for Scott Keswick over on the vault was a 9.25.
That's too bad. That's a near fall. 0.4 of a point off.
Here is Sonny Meduna from the United States team number 2. Sonny trains in Oklahoma City under Steve Nuno and Peggy Liddick. Peggy was her original coach when Sonny lived back in Nebraska. She followed Peggy to Oklahoma City and had a great competition here, didn't she?
Excellent competition. It's her first big international meet. She really handled the pressure of the team competition. Oh, she pulled that around.
Back over on the balance beam for Lilia Podkopaeva, a 9.475.
That's a nice skill. She's the only one I've ever seen do that jump. That's a fall. 0.5 of a point right at the end.
Up on the high bar now, 18-year-old Alexei Nemov, 4 gold medals at these games.
And he was so consistent throughout the entire competition. The only miss he had was on this event in the event finals. And it was on that.
It's a little conservative today. Kept it in close to the bar. Probably a smart move.
Big reverse heck there. He really uses his height to an advantage here. It makes everything so much more spectacular.
He's 5 feet 8 inches tall, the tallest man in the competition. Maybe the new star of men's gymnastics, Vitaly Sherba and Ivan Ivankov, are not here.
It's exactly how he performed in the all-around competition, where he won so decisively.
Let's take a look again at the release move.
It's way up in the air, and as we said, it's a little conservative because he missed it in the event finals.
So we'll be back with his score, and the mixed team gymnastics competition will continue when we come back here to the Gymnastics Hall. For now, let's go back to Mark Jones. Totally unique format in the sport of gymnastics. Grigory Misyutin is now on the vault. This is going to be great.
Handspring. He didn't do it. We thought he'd do his handspring double front. He's got so much talent.
He really does have a bag of tricks.
He can do any vault in the book. This is gorgeous. Layout, front with a half, and he lands way, way out in bonus land.
He won 3 gold medals here, one of them on that event, the vault. On the parallel bars now for the United States, this is Drew Durbin. He had a nasty fall on the high bar, seems to have recovered.
This is a perfect format for Drew. He has an excellent 3 events short right there.
Oh, no.
Something's hurt.
Maybe he hasn't recovered. Nope, I think that's it for Drew Durbin.
I think he might have hurt his shoulder slightly on the fall.
That's a giant swing with a half turn.
And he knows he's hurt right here. It's a smart thing to do.
Just 20 years old, out of Ohio State University, one of the exciting juniors on the U.S. national team. We hope he's okay. Now to the floor, Oksana Fabrichnova. She's competing for Russia team number 1. The score for Grigory Misyutin on the vault was a 9.35.
She was one of the favorites in the all-around and had trouble on this event. She has such power, which is surprising. She looks very thin, almost frail.
She really hasn't been at her best here. Was sick earlier in the week and seemed a little weak, didn't she?
She seems to have gotten her strength back here. That first pass looks much stronger than it was in the all-around.
We saw her first a year ago in the World Championship competition where she took 5th in the all-around.
This is where she had trouble. Front to the full.
The score on the floor for Sunny Meduna, USA team number 2, a 9.025. And the score for Alexei Nemov from Russia team number 1 on the high bar, 9.45.
This is a much better performance. A nice combination of good choreography and good tumbling.
Now over to the high bar. Cheney Humphrey from the United States. This is always a treat to watch this routine. Has 4 release moves and a spectacular dismount. He has not finished in any individual medals here at the Goodwill Games. He did earn a team bronze with the U.S. team earlier in the week. He was 6th in the all-around.
The only thing that keeps Cheney from a medal is the landing of his dismount. If he could just come up with a great landing, and if he performs the more difficult dismount, the double twisting, double layout. His 4 release moves come up right here if he's on. There's the final one.
Nicely done today.
Only gymnast doing that in this competition.
The judges recently redid the code of points, and Cheney says he likes it because he does hard tricks, and the judges are rewarding gymnasts who go for all the big moves.
And he peeled, his grip broke.
Oh.
He didn't even get a chance to try and stick the landing. Once that happens, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, there's a leather hand guard that the gymnasts use to wrap around the bar to get a good grip, and occasionally they get brittle and they break. That is the end of his routine, and unfortunately in gymnastics competition there are no rules that accommodate a gymnast who has an equipment failure. We'll be back with his score.
Something rather
For Belarus on the vault.
This vault's worth a 9.5. Great distance from the horse. The gymnasts are trying to get further from the horse and earn bonus points from the judges. Now, the vault is not highly difficult. It's just a full twist, but he really took it out there.
On the balance beam now for USA number 2, this is Mariana Webster. As you see, she got a bronze medal after some strange manipulation of the scores here earlier in the week. The score for Cheney Humphrey from the United States was a low 8.95 after his handguard broke on that high bar routine.
Here's her layout. Very strong. This has been a great experience for her. The USA Championships are coming up in 2 weeks, and this was certainly a confidence builder for that, and a thrill to come home with a medal in a big international meet.
This is a busy year in the world of gymnastics. There was an individual event and all-around world championships in the spring in Australia. There's another world championships for the first time ever, 2 in the same year. It's a team world championships in Dortmund in November, and then the Goodwill Games in the middle of the summer. The score over on the floor for Oksana Fabrichneva was a 9.65.
This is a great routine for her. It's been nice to see her improve since last year when she won the sports festival, the Olympic festival, on this event. She's come a long way. Watch how she really tries to take it all the way through the landing and not move those feet.
Her teammate from the U.S., Drew Durbin, after that disappointment on the parallel bars where he had to stop, scored only a 4.6. That will be disastrous for their team results here. On the parallel bars now, Alexei Nemov. He really has a big routine, not just because he's 5 feet 8 inches tall, but he really knows how to use that long body to his advantage, swinging some big moves. Double right there.
What's amazing is he doesn't have a weak event, and typically a tall gymnast will have 1 or 2 weak events. Struggling
Good cover.
a little there, but
Good
great cover.
8.950.
You're right, the fact that he has such terrific technique allows him to manage a tall body. A little shaky on that handstand. Could be getting a little bit tired. This is the 6th day in a row of competition for the man, and he might be just a little worn out.
Beautiful double front, maintains good form, and this is a good cover because he was not in position to swing out of that.
To the floor now, Jenny Thompson. Originally from Wichita Falls, Texas, now training in Oklahoma City.
She was the youngest national champion at 11 years of age at the Junior National, showing amazing difficulty.
The score over on the beam for Mariana Webster from USA team number 2 is a 9.625.
Great difficulty in this routine. Junior national champion last year, moved into the senior ranks at only 13 years of age. She turned 13 here.
You know, many coaches wouldn't put a young 13-year-old in a competition like this. In fact, they're going to ask that the coaches not allow gymnasts to compete until they're 16 years old after the Olympics in '96. Many feel that this is too young to be an international competition. How do you feel?
That's a debate that will go on forever. It's so hard to say. Depends on the individual. Great triple twist. She's had a nice experience here. A couple little mistakes throughout, but this was the best of all.
Little Jenny Thompson. We'll be back with her score. The beam. She's from Russia, team number 1. They're doing well here. She had a 9.65 earlier on the floor.
Three layouts. Oh! This is so unusual. We usually see more consistency from the women on this event. Really speaks to the extraordinary talent and strong will of Shannon Miller. She's been under the same conditions, the length of the competition. They've been here a long time. They're tired, and yet she came up with the best routine I've seen.
She's teamed up with Alexei Nemov on Russia, team number 1 here. He had a 9.3 on that parallel bar routine.
This is a very strong routine, except for that fall. And a big step on the landing. I was really surprised at this because she does it technically so well. Her hips are perfectly straight on the first 2 and gets off on the final element.
Janie Humphrey now getting ready to go on the parallel bars for USA team number 1. It's such a shame that he had that broken handguard on the high bar in the earlier performance. It's the kind of thing that just happens. The gymnasts work on those handguards for 2 or 3 years, and they get thin, and occasionally they break.
This is a good event for Cheney. He has a real opportunity to show off his strength.
Jenny Thompson from the United States team had a 9.55 on her floor exercise routine. Coach Art Sherlock standing by the parallel bars. He had a little mat under there to give Cheney a good rebound so that he could get a good mount. Art Sherlock pulled it out after he mounted.
Doesn't quite have the finesse of a Nemov, but he's got the difficulty and the strength and the power. Come up with a strong routine.
So we go from the parallel bars with Cheney Humphrey now to the floor with Lilia Podkopaeva. This is always a fun routine to watch.
And when you say finesse, you think of this gymnast. She is so exquisite on this exercise.
She's our final competitor here, the women's floor exercise.
A lot of difficulty, a double front with a perfect landing. You don't even see the men do that very often. It takes amazing technique.
She won the European Championships this year on the floor.
She really has the technique down for front tumbling. Watch this. Front flip-flop to front layout, front pull.
She says she enjoys the ballet, so it must be a treat for her to be in the city of the Kirov Ballet, one of the most famous of all time. The score for Cheney Humphrey on the parallel bars was a 9.3, and on the beam, Oksana Barbichnova had a 9.1.
Has a very big finish. Lovely routine. This is just phenomenal. I can't tell you how difficult this is. The technique has to be perfect. You have to have power and spring and a kinesthetic awareness that you can't imagine to know exactly where you are on that skill.
The score on the floor for Lilia Podkopaeva, a 9.825. Well, let's take a look at our final results in the first ever mixed team competition here at the Goodwill Games. As you see, Team 1 from Belarus and Ukraine won the gold. Team 1 from Russia, the silver. Team 2 from Russia, the bronze. United States finished in 4th and in 9th. Well, it's been a great 9 days of gymnastics here in St. Petersburg. Kathy Johnson, your final thoughts?
Shannon Miller really has entered new territory that very few gymnasts even dare to tread. She's won so many medals in major competitions, including 2 world all-around titles, 5 Olympic medals, world individual titles on every event but vault. Most gymnasts would love to retire on those laurels, yet she dares to go out and compete against the best.
And in the men's competition, in a sport where the personalities sometimes loom as large as their acrobatic performances, the world of men's gymnastics has a new face. Alexei Nemov, who says his goal is, of course, gold in Atlanta in 1996. That's the story from the Goodwill Games gymnastics competition. For Kathy Johnson, I'm Bart Connor. Thanks for watching.